everybody, it's Bumps of the Night here for another video. So, cards on the table. This video should have probably came out like 3 months ago. The footage has been on my phone. It's actually been in my drafts for a while. I just never got around to actually finishing this. I'm getting ready to upgrade phones, so I need to get everything I can off my phone so I don't lose it during the transfer. So this is kind of where this came from. Essentially, I'm moving my bookshelves to the opposite side of the room, and I'm making room for a futon I had purchased on Facebook Marketplace. Here's an update where the bookshelves were, and I've already dragged them across the room to the other side, and my god, they were 3 times as heavy because I didn't take anything off of them. Well, I mean, obviously I took the stuff that was going to fall, but I left the books on them and just kind of awkwardly walked them from side to side across the room. Totally freaking sucked. And because I decided to make content out of this, I'm going to put everything back on the shelf the way it was. On the manga shelf, anyway. The Goosebumps shelf's already been revamped and double shelved, as you can see here. We have our first row in the back and our second row up front. I did this because I have so many Goosebumps items that I just can't fit them all on this one shelf. And I am limited on space. I only have one man cave. Fortunately, I had to make do with what I had, and this is the best I could do. So now that you've seen what a final product looks like, let's show you how to essentially double up your shelves like I did with the Goosebumps shelf. For starters, I'm going to show off all the really cool stuff I got on top here. And more so, I haven't really shown off my manga shelf. I know it's been seen in plenty, and I do mean plenty of videos, but I've never really gone into depth on it. So, as you can see, I have quite a few figures, probably more Dragon Ball Z figures than I should have. It's just an amalgamation of 90s nerd shit combined with a lot of like Jap weeb stuff. Anyway, for double stacking your shelves, some people use shoe boxes, you can use recycled cardboard boxes. I myself am going to use some Yu-Gi-Oh! Tins that I'm actually not using to store anything in, and essentially what you want to do is clean off the shelf once we take off all this awesome swag. And here you'll see I've got all my manga alphabetized. If I want to read any of it, I can't really do so because I have to take everything off the shelf every single time to get to it. And after doing this with my Goosebumps shelf and finding it way easier to navigate, I decided I had to do it with the manga shelf. But here's just kind of a tour of everything on each shelf. A lot of figures, a lot of video game stuff, just anything and everything I could pack onto it, essentially. If you see anything you like on this shelf, let me know, because let me tell you, I'm constantly selling stuff. Unlike hoarders and pack rats, I'm not attached to any of it. And I am in a way that it's nostalgic to me and it brings me joy. But I'm not attached to anything so much that I'm not willing to sell it. So hit me up in the comments. I'll drop the eBay down below. And you'll see there really is no theme to these shelves. It's just kind of what I could fit that doesn't look too cluttery, but at the end of the day, there's just so much clutter here. So when double stacking your bookshelves, I've also forgot to mention, you can use other books. So if you have books that you don't read as much, but you don't want to get rid of them yet, you can lay those down as the base. You won't be able to see them when the books are stacked on top of them and in front of them, but you'll know they're there. And they become useful in a way that they're serving more purpose as they are now than they had before. I got a couple Stephen King books on the Goosebumps shelf that I actually want to read at some point. They're lower hanging fruit on that tree, so eventually, yes. Not any time in the near future, though. Here's a blast from the past. Anybody else have these Pokeballs from Burger King with the gold Pokemon cards inside? I lined up all 6 of mine, kind of like Professor Rowan's briefcase is in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Or how about that dubstep gun from Saints Row 4's Collector's Edition? You know, just dumb shit. Dumb shit from my nerd shelf. Assuming you're watching this to this point, you probably collect things besides Goosebumps. So let me know down in the comments below. What do you like to collect? What are you passionate about? So as you can see here, we've cleaned off all like the toys and stuff, and we've moved all them to the bottom per se. And in this next shot here, I am slowly putting the books on top of the tins to raise them up so that they'll be the higher of the two. And here's a full shot of what it looks like once the books are all put back on in alphabetical order. Way more space this way. And so now let's take a look at the finished product.